Imagine waking each morning knowing that the financial landscape you've relied on for decades is shifting under your feet. So, settle down with your cup of tea or coffee and let's walk through what's changing, why it matters, and above all, what you need to keep an eye on. The DWP isn't simply tweaking a rule here or there. There are fundamental changes in how pension age benefits, banking verifications, payment eligibility, and oversight will work going forward. And if you're a pensioner, or soon to be one, it's vital you understand, then adapt. First, think about the fact that your benefit payments and pension records may increasingly be subject to proof of life checks and bank verifications. For example, if you live abroad or split your time between the UK and overseas, expect more frequent checks to confirm you're alive, resident where you claim to be, and eligible. This means if you've delayed reporting or being proactive, you may face delays or stoppages. Or next, when it comes to how your pension and benefits are uprated, you may know that the new state pension scheme for those reaching pension age after the 6th of April 2016 already depends on your national insurance record of at least 10 qualifying years and ideally 35. But what's changing is the oversight of how your records are validated and how gaps or credits are handled, especially for those carers, those living part-time abroad, or who had variable contributions. The DWP is clarifying that they will look more closely at your NI contributions, voluntary payments, and periods of credit. For example, if you were unemployed, ill, or caring for someone. So if you assumed things will just roll on, you may want to check the detail. Beyond that, there is a sharper focus on means testing and eligibility for supplementary benefits. Many pensioners who could, for example, claim the pension credit or the winter fuel payment find they don't because they haven't registered or changed their circumstances. The DWP is tightening verification and applying stricter rules around income, savings, and eligibility, so that if your situation changes, you sell a home, move abroad, cease carrying responsibilities, you must tell them. Otherwise, you risk overpayment or suspension. And don't overlook the banking angle. Regulations are emerging that banks may share limited data with the DWP to flag inconsistent claims or benefit irregularities. This doesn't mean banks will be rummaging through every transaction, but they will be required to report certain indicators of potential fraud or error. Pensioners hearing bank snoop headlines may feel uneasy, but the key takeaway is keep your records accurate, update the DWP when things change, and avoid surprises. Also, if you're living abroad or moving back and forth, know that your payments may differ in amount, timing, and uprating depending on which country you're in, what treaties exist, and whether you've declared your residence properly. To minimize risk of losing entitlement, get your address and residency status in line with what the DWP expects. On the payment day front, be mindful that when you defer your pension or delay claiming other benefits, you might increase your future payment, but you'll need to navigate the timing carefully. The rationale behind many of these changes is that the DWP wants to reduce overpayments, fraud, and benefit leakage. They are under political and budgetary pressure to ensure pensioner benefits go to those legitimately eligible, while tightening up systems of verification across pensions, state benefits, and banking. That political backdrop means a shift in tone. Fewer, we assume you're eligible unless told otherwise situations, and more, you must meet these checks or your payments may stop. So what does you, the pensioner, need to do? First, gather your documentation, your national insurance record, proof of residence, bank details, benefit entitlements, past letters from the DWP. Make sure everything is current. If you have any gaps in your NI contribution history, for instance, voluntary payments you didn't make, years you lived abroad, caring periods, uncredited, check whether you can fill them or whether you'll affect your entitlement. If you claim supplementary benefits, pension credit, winter fuel payment, cold weather payment, etc., check eligibility annually. Many pensioners miss top-up benefits simply because they didn't claim or didn't update changes. If you live abroad or intend to move, check how your state pension and other benefits travel. Some upratings don't apply overseas unless the country has an agreement with the UK. If you bank abroad or have international payments, ensure your banking details are properly declared and check whether the bank needs to verify you for DWP reporting. Keep the DWP informed of changes. Moving home, change of marital/civil partner status, change in income from a pension or part-time work, change in residency, all these can affect your benefit eligibility, and the DWP's verification processes. And last, but maybe most importantly, review your payment schedule and expected amounts. If you deferred your pension or plan to, check what the new rules say about deferral and uprating in case the calculations have changed. Also, if you're entitled to payments under the old pension scheme, pre-2016, or the new scheme, post-2016, check which your entitlement falls under since the rules differ, including how many years of contributions you needed and how the full rate is calculated. The upshot is this. While many pensioners will continue automatically receiving their state pension and associated benefits, the safety net is getting tighter, the verification is becoming stricter, and assumptions of everything stays the same may no longer hold. In other words, staying passive is riskier than ever. If you don't act, you may find payments delayed, reduced, or even stopped. On the bright side, being proactive means you can spot and resolve issues before they bite, and potentially claim extra payments you didn't know you were eligible for. So even though 7 new regulations may sound overwhelming, the message is simple. Check your eligibility, update your records, be transparent with changes, and treat your pension benefit status as something you manage, not something that just happens. Because the DWP is watching, the rules are evolving, and your livelihood and retirement depends on being informed, consistent with updates. Let this update be your prompt to stop, review your pension and benefit situation today, call or log into your government portal, check your records, and ask the question, am I really ready for what's coming? Because the answer could make a real difference in the peace and security of your retirement years.